Welcome to this Nexa video, where we will give you an overview of the Nexa workflow functionalities. Other videos will be dedicated to detailed explanations on how to create, implement, and use new workflows based on the needs of your company. What is a workflow? It is good practice for companies to define workflows, also known as processes. That is, specific sets of actions to be accomplished in order to complete a task. Say, for example, that your task is to introduce a new product or that you need to issue an ECR, ECO, or ECN. How are you going to do it? What are the steps that need to be undertaken? With the help of workflows, your company will be able to accomplish these tasks more easily, to coordinate the different resources, and to have complete information of all the steps. By having a complete view of the process, you can understand what are the strong and weak points of the whole procedure and correct what needs to be changed. Managing a workflow can be complex, since many people of different departments might be involved. Moreover, the action flow in a process is oftentimes non-linear, where the choice of the next action might depend on the results of the present action. When building a workflow, there are many questions that need to be addressed, like, for example, who should perform a specific activity? Under which circumstances? Does somebody need to be informed that the action is going to take place or it has been completed? What is the result of the action? How long do we expect the action to require? Etc. The Nexa workflow functionality is a powerful visual tool for process management. Here you can see its graphical interface displaying an example of a new product introduction workflow process. This shows that a workflow process is made of interconnected activities, and its aim is to automate the flow of information and the flow of work among the individuals involved in the process. We will see in another video the details on how to build a workflow. However, it is worth reminding that the Nexa workflow interface allows you to rearrange the activity icons and connect them with just a few mouse clicks, making it easy to build complex networks of actions. Let's take the perspective of the workflow manager. A given activity can be assigned to one or more specific individuals. Custom-defined user roles. For example, the last user of the present activity is going to be in charge of the next activity. Groups of users, such as component engineering, product engineers, procurement, etc. The Nexa workflow functionality makes sure that all the needed information is delivered to the assignees as attachments to the workflow. For example, this activity of the workflow has been assigned to a user belonging to the CAD designers. As a result, Nexa sent a notification email to the assignee. The designer can view the CAD document that the product manager attached to the workflow and retrieve the correct version from SolidWorks without the need to go and look for it. Please remember that Nexa can be customized with several CAD connectors, allowing the engineers to retrieve and upload their complex assemblies with a few mouse clicks. Branching. What happens at the end of an activity? The sequence of actions of a workflow doesn't need to be static. Its participants can be requested to make decisions on the fly that lead to different flows of actions. For example, the aim of this activity is for the product manager to decide which authorities are going to be responsible for the design changes. According to the choices of the product manager, Nexa automatically routes the workflow of the selected designers. When branching occurs, the action flow takes a different path. Multiple contemporary assignments. It is also possible to build workflows where multiple activities take place simultaneously to reduce the total execution time. In this case, it is going to be necessary to define within the workflow what are the conditions to pass to the next activity. Change the direction of the flow. The flow of actions within a workflow is not limited to the forward direction. There are times when an activity must be put on hold or sent backwards for rework. This is done with one simple click. You might want to notify stakeholders that this action has occurred. Nexa can do it automatically for you. Collaborative activities. The product manager might decide that a specific activity requires to be carried out by more than one person. An example could be a review activity, where many referees need to check a document before it is sent to print. In case that multiple resources are assigned to a single activity, a voting system can be set up. For example, the various resources report either that they approve the activity, sending it forward, or that they feel that the activity needs more work, sending it back. The Nexa workflow adds up the voting weights and takes action when the sum of the voting weights is equal or greater than the threshold values defined at the time of the workflow definition. Electronic signature. Every time that an assignee signs off an activity, the Nexa workflow documents the approval and captures all the comments, thanks to the electronic signature feature. It is thus possible to maintain an audit trail with everything that happened during the process. Notice that you can view or print at any time all the actions performed within the process. As ISO and FDA not only require documenting your process, but also adhering to those processes each and every time, Nexa workflows are powerful tools to help achieve regulatory compliance. You can also run reports on any workflow in seconds and get up-to-the-minute information on the status of all the active processes, allowing you to have all the activities managed by Nexa under control at any time with a mouse click. For example, here you can see all the activities, who completed them, etc. Load balancing. This level of tracking the process is very important since it allows you to see the workload for each worker. With this information, you can make sure that nobody is overloaded, leading to bottlenecks and thus late deliveries. Thanks to this report feature, in a few seconds, you have a clear idea of which specific worker and activity is running late. Automatic validation. As we have seen, workflows can become complex, involving many users with multiple tasks and branching conditions. This is not unusual since workflows can be used for achieving important tasks that require very careful planning. You should not be worried by these difficulties since Nexa helps the workflow managers by offering an automatic validation check feature which verifies if the workflow is conflict-free. Among other things, it verifies that the workflow does not enter into infinite loops based on the branch rules and links that have been set up. These are only some of the powerful features that Nexa Workflows offers to your company. In another video, we will create a new workflow process and implement different requirements. Subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications so that you won't miss all the upcoming Nexa videos with new tutorials and feature updates. Thanks for watching.